I swear for me, this film stock is cursed. So if you've been watching my videos lately, I've been having a bid of a rough time. 2024 has had many ups, it has also had many downs. And maybe it all started when I decided to go ahead and shoot Ilford SFX 200. I shot it in 2023 and it was really disappointing. The film stock is the closest competitor to Rollie's infrared, and I wanted a different kind of film stock to go along with my Rollie infrared. But these two film stocks definitely give different results. They both have different wavelength charts where they are most sensitive and least sensitive. And the Rollie infrared is definitely more than just more sensitive. It has also got a greater degree of halation or bloom. As you saw by the photos at the start of the video, the Ilford SFX is still kind of muted. Whilst the wood effect is present on foliage, it's very muted. I wasn't happy with those photos. They were all right, but I really wanted some pop and glow, some snazz. So I decided to give this film another go. But as I said, the last little wee while hasn't been going well for me. And well, that very first roll that I did in 2024, it came out like this. Barely visible, as you can see by these photos. There are some negatives here, and I might be able to recover something, but this is just almost ridiculously clear. Now, I don't believe it's a camera issue because I've shot with Rollie's infrared very recently on the exact same camera in 2 rolls. I know my settings for infrared film or near infrared film. 1 second f8, it works like a charm pretty much all the time. You've got some form of sunlight coming down, that's all you need. But for whatever reason, these did not come out. And I'm quite disappointed by that. But let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and scan them and we'll see if I'm able to get any photos. Now, I've already gone ahead and shot a second roll. So how about we jump into the footage for the second roll, and by the time that's all over, I will have gone ahead, scanned the film here, and we'll see if I've got anything of note. But currently, I doubt it, because this film is cursed. So my last attempt didn't go very well. There was some issues with, I don't know what. The negatives came out really thin, and currently as of now I've not actually gone ahead and scanned them, so I don't know what they will look like by the time that I actually get around to seeing what these look like. I will scan them when I get back home, but currently I'm on holiday again down here in Dunedin. I'm going to be shooting Ilford SFX in the RB67. Now, as I just mentioned, the previous negatives were really thin. I'm not too sure as to why the lab didn't end up scanning them because they were just too thin. I think I can scan them and get some photos out of them with my flatbed, but I know that this RB does fire at 1 second properly with the infrared pass filter, so I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. Now, one thing I should mention is when you're shooting with infrared, you probably don't want to shoot towards the sun, but I am going to be doing that because the weather has been absolutely shit and there's very few sunny days and I don't know what tomorrow's going to be like. I think I'm going to try shoot at the end of this roll towards the, not towards the sun, but with the sun coming that way towards the mountain, i.e. the sun going onto the mountain and not towards it. And hopefully that will give me a photo that will actually show the true effects of infrared, and this is just as good a time as any to show you why you shouldn't shoot into the sun when you're shooting infrared. So hopefully that was a success. We will just have to wait and see. So I would have probably already mentioned that my previous footage was not that usable. I hadn't learned how to set up this recording device that I've got on me correctly, and that would have meant that the audio would look really stupid with me going up, and not saying anything. I've learned how to do that now, so yeah. Sometime later this year, I'm planning to go ahead and shoot macro photography and infrared together. The issue with doing so is you really need a windless day. It has to be as small a wind current as possible, because the movement that flowers will have, even though it might look small to our eyes, when zoomed in and magnified, it is gigantic. And when you're shooting at 1 second, that becomes a bit of a problem. Okay, so is my mic on? My mic is on, okay. So I'm back at the Speedway, and well, maybe I'm not back at the Speedway, maybe I'm talking about another video. But the point is, I thought this would be kind of cool and something different to shoot with infrared. You know what, if any time's the time to do it before they actually start racing, might pay to put on a more zoomed in lens. Alright, they're off now. Let's see if we can get this. So hopefully I was able to capture the motion there. So what I wanted to do was just take a shot without the infrared filter to show you what the film looks like without the infrared. Now I'm going to go ahead and shoot only in the infrared spectrum. There will be some difference for sure. For one, I'm shooting at 1 second in infrared, so the ocean will become a bit softer. And also when I was shooting at just as normal black and white, there would be a difference in the depth of field because I was shooting at f22 versus shooting at f8 when shooting at infrared. So yeah, I'm back and I've gone ahead and scanned these. Whilst you can faintly see an image, it's really not recoverable. I still have no idea what exactly happened here because I had the correct filter on. The camera only does a max of 1 second, so it wasn't like I was underexposing them. And I'm pretty damn sure I would have had it on f8 because I would have checked the camera multiple times whilst I was going ahead and shooting the photos. I've never ever experienced something like this when it comes to shooting. And I did wonder that with this film stock, it's not as sensitive to the infrared as Rollei's infrared, that maybe my infrared filter was a bit too strong and wasn't allowing enough light through, but I just don't see how that's necessarily the case because apart from only getting 3 photos from this roll here on my RB67, and of those 3 photos, only 1 is properly exposed, which is probably one of the worst hit rates I've ever had on a camera. You can see here clearly that this went ahead and exposed correctly. And that would have been exposed at 1 second at f8. So I believe that the exposure was right. I have no idea why this turned out so faint like it did. It wasn't recoverable, and this entire roll was basically botched, and technically not the film's fault. My RB67, sitting right here, has had a bit of issues during 2024. It was my favorite camera of 2023, but during 2024, it has been a stubborn son of a bitch and been playing up for most of the year. And I've been having issues with both its backs, but it also looks right now that I'm having issues with the firing, which is of concern because I have some other rolls that I'm looking forward to getting back, and I'm not looking forward to possibly having some wasted shots because of gear that needs some CLA. Originally this video was going to be titled that this film stock sucks, and whilst I still kind of believe that, no film stock is actually like bad. Some film stocks are more problematic than others to shoot with. I won't touch Japan Camera Hunter's film. It's very hit or miss when it comes to exposing. I have really good shots on Rollei infrared for my very first roll that I shot. In fact, I think it makes for a really nice black and white film just in standard light. As I've already made clear, I don't think it makes a very good near infrared film. However, that being said, I have seen others take photos with it and they have been absolutely stunning. For me, right now, this film is pretty cursed and I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. I will probably go ahead maybe next year or later in the year. I will try this film stock again, and hopefully with a camera that I can trust and make sure that there is no issues with the camera, and therefore the results are down to me and the film. But for now, this film is cursed. As always, it's been real, guys. Until next time.